John chapter 4, verse 35, which says, "Say not ye, there are yet 4 months, and then cometh harvest. Behold, I say unto you, lift up your eyes and look on the fields, for they are white already to harvest." And today, on this very special day, I want to talk to you, my friend, about the fields that are white unto harvest. At the particular time that Jesus spoke these words, he had been talking to the woman at the well. And of course, he spoke to her prophetically and told her about her 5 husbands, and she was deeply, deeply touched. And she realized that this was the Messiah. While Jesus was speaking to this woman at the well, his disciples had gone into town to find food because there was no food. And Jesus, while they were gone, was talking to the woman at the well. And it's really quite a story. You should read it in John chapter 4. Jesus prophetically saw into this woman's life. She was so excited, she ran into the city. And while she was going into the city, Jesus' disciples were coming back from the city. They had brought food. Maybe they had already eaten, but now they were coming toward Jesus. Now I want you to see this picture. Jesus is facing them. They are coming toward Jesus from the city toward Jesus. The woman at the well has now gone into the town to tell everyone that she has met the Messiah. And Jesus is now speaking to the disciples who are coming toward him. And Jesus said, hey, 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 hey. Don't think you've got to wait 4 months for the harvest. Lift up your eyes and look. And from where Jesus was standing, he could see the disciples as they were approaching him, and they didn't know it. But behind him was coming all the workers from the wheat fields who were known to be dressed in white clothes. They wore white clothes as they labored in the fields. And Jesus could see that they were coming toward him, but they were standing behind the disciples, so the disciples didn't see it. And Jesus was saying, hey guys, the harvest is coming a lot sooner than you think. Lift up your eyes and look. Don't say 4 months before the harvest comes. Lift up your eyes and look, for the fields are white unto harvest. And Jesus could see a whole crowd coming from the town, a whole crowd that had been impacted by the woman at the well, one testimony. And the disciples were completely oblivious to the fact, because it was behind them, that a whole town of people were coming to see Jesus. A harvest was about to be reaped, and they were completely ignorant of it. Sometimes in our life, God repositions us. He puts us somewhere else. He does something that we could have never imagined, and we don't always know what God is doing. But I want to tell you today that God may have repositioned you. God may be repositioning you right now. And there may be something developing that your eyes have not seen yet. And even though you can't tell what God is doing in your life, and you may be confused, and it may be a hard time, the truth is just not far away. In fact, if you would just open your eyes and look, you'll see that God in His great grace and God in His mercy is doing something magnificent. There's a harvest that your eyes haven't seen yet. And at this particular time in your life, rather than look at the ground, rather than look around, wonder what to do next, I want to declare to you by faith that God is working behind the scenes. It's not time to despair. It's time to lift up your eyes and look. God has repositioned you for a time of harvest. I believe that for you. I believe it for you. And in the name of Jesus, I speak such faith and such encouragement to you, that you would lift up the eyes that are looking down, and that you would see, that you would behold the fields are white into harvest, that this is not a time of loss. This is the greatest time of gain that has ever come in your life. Harvest, increase, blessing, all of that, I declare it to you in the name of Jesus. Now lift up your eyes. Lift up your eyes and look, because the fields are white unto harvest. That's what I have to say to you on this very special day.